When I first started our microschool, the dream was very small. Not because my heart was small, but because the circumstances were. 6 children, my dining room table, the world shut down, fear everywhere, and all I wanted was to give a handful of children, including my own, safety, stability, and a chance to learn. But I didn't know it then. That wasn't the dream. That was the seed of a dream. And seeds always know how to become more. I didn't dream of a movement. At that time, I dreamt of survival. But survival dreams eventually ask, will you let me grow? Today, I'm going to talk about what dream and redream actually mean. How you and I have been redreaming our life, our school, and where we are today and where we are going. And I want to help you get ready for one of the biggest transitions of this movement that we've ever seen, what it is actually transforming and redreaming to be. Hey friends, I want to take a quick moment to tell you about something that has been an absolute game changer for hundreds of microschool and homeschool hybrid founders. Our Teacher Let Your Light Shine online store, a place for founders' favorites. Inside you'll find our beloved bestsellers like the Business Bundle, packed with everything you need to launch and run your school, contracts, enrollment forms, parent partnership letters, and marketing materials that save you hours of stress. Teachers and parents just like you are saying these tools gave them clarity, confidence, and a clear path forward when starting their schools. Whether you're brand new or you're ready to grow, our resources are designed to help you skip the overwhelm and focus on what really matters most, like our open house playbook, our financial review preparation sheet, templates for Facebook and email marketing, how to create the perfect planning day guide, finding curriculum clarity workbook, our new course, Microschool Marketing Blueprint, all the information for legal clarity for beginners, and, of course, the yearly membership to Microschool Masterminds. Head over to teachersletyourlightshine.com/shop. Again, teachersletyourlightshine.com/shop. Skip the overwhelm and focus on what matters most, your students, your mission, and your vision. teachersletyourlightshine.com/shop. Go there today and grab tools that will help you shine. If you have been around Teacher Let Your Light Shine long enough, you know that we started our microschool during the pandemic 2020 in our house, 6 children plus my 2, a very small dream. I would call it a survival dream, and I would also call it a very exhausted dream. But now we are in this redreaming moment. If you've listened to the past couple of episodes, you will have heard my story about changing Teacher Let Your Light Shine to ReDream Education as we enter into the new year. And just as you would have it, you know God, He lined it up perfectly, because this is episode 399. And December 23rd of 2025, we will have recorded our 400th episode. It will be the last episode of the brand Teacher Let Your Light Shine. As we enter into the new year, I will be taking a week off of podcasting. So the last week of the year, I will not be putting out a podcast. I will be redreaming in my thinking chair about all of the amazing possibilities this year has in store for us for 2026. My daughter's graduating. We will have ended our 6th year of Lighthouse Learning, and I'm really wanting to refine everything that God has placed in my hands that He has entrusted us with to make it better, to make it refined like gold. You know, I didn't know at the time, but the little school that we started out as was not the dream. It was only the seed. And a seed always knows when and how it is becoming more, even if we don't know when or how it's becoming more. So in today's podcast, I'm going to talk to you about what it means to dream and what it means to redream. So the universal definition of a dream is a spark, a possibility, a picture of what life might look like if everything aligned, a whisper, a hope, a longing to create something better. But dreams are dim, they can break, they can get buried, they can become too small, they become outdated, and they can become misaligned with who you have become along the journey. And this sets up the need for redreaming. And I really believe if we want to put this into a real life example, I remember having a dream one day that when I was pulling up to my house, there were all of these white birds sitting and just enjoying their life on my front lawn. And that was a dream to me. It was a spark. It was like, whoa, what was that about? It was like, oh, there's a possibility I might drive home tomorrow and my whole lawn will be filled with white birds. A picture of what it might look like, right? Like a whisper of something new was coming. This was several years ago. Also, we can see that there have been times where I've had dreams that whenever I was teaching in public school, I was very, 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 oh my goodness, moved by this one dream of me sitting in a rocking chair on a 2-story house, looking outside at just a tree-lined backyard while rocking a baby. And while I was rocking that baby, I could feel in my dream, I was like, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Wow, I cannot believe that I have this baby. Now, I had already had my 2 daughters. We were living in a condo, nowhere near starting a school. That dream I felt like had left. And then I got very perplexed that I might be getting pregnant. So I also was struggling because I thought, God, if you're going to give me a baby, I'm in like the prime time of my career. I'm an instructional coach. I absolutely love it. But I've also wanted to have a lot of kids. I wanted to move out of our condo. I knew that there was something else brewing in my life. If you've listened to this podcast for a while, you know that later on, a couple years later, I actually did get pregnant, but I lost the baby very quickly. And because I had gotten pregnant, that really stirred up in my spirit. Wow, what if I have this baby and I actually start the dream of having this school in the backyard with this baby as it grows up? I've also had a dream the night before I woke up and said, oh my gosh, I'm really meant to be starting a school, was June of 2020, before the school had even started. I had a dream that I was standing in a kitchen and I saw my girls outside playing with other kids and they were laughing and they were playing football. And I had just left walking through my house and every door closing. And I was like, God, what am I supposed to do with my life? Where am I going? What do you want me to do? And then I saw the field and my daughters playing and all the kids laughing. And he said to me, kids, you'll always be successful with kids. And I just woke up the next day and knew I was supposed to start a school. And then very quickly, we started the school. We started in August. But that dream, those were all sparks, possibilities, whispers, hopes, longing to create something better. But dreams can get buried. And first off, I think about that dream of holding the baby, and that wasn't really the real dream. Maybe the baby was the school. Maybe the baby was the baby that I actually had, but I lost, but it turned into the school. Maybe it was a misalignment with who I had become. I look back and for a couple of years, I did not want to get the school out of my house because of that dream of standing in the kitchen after all those doors closed and seeing those kids in my yard. And if we get stuck in this one dream that is a spark, then we can lose the possibility of the flame. And so that's why I've been feeling the need to redream. And so when we think about what a dream is, this longing, a picture of the future that feels almost impossible but necessary, a vision what could be, dreams are tender. They begin very quietly. They begin without proof. And sometimes they get lost. They shrink. They break. They get buried under fear, exhaustion, bills, expectations, and even systems that we don't value anymore, which is why dreaming isn't enough. Life requires us to keep dreaming. It requires us to go deeper. So what does it mean to redream? Well, a redream is not a revision. It's like a rebirth. A redream is reclaiming what was buried, expanding what became too small, releasing what no longer fits, building from wisdom, not being naive, and honoring who we've become. I feel like a dream is innocent, but a redream is informed. I feel like a dream of helping teachers through this podcast was a dream. But now that I am informed after having this school for 6 years, it's time to redream. A dream is what we wish for, but a redream is what we are willing to create. And this past year, I realized something so profound. I have been redreaming every single part of my life, my house, my school, my kids, our business. And to redream is to reclaim either what's been lost, what no longer fits, It allows the very first initial dream to grow, to expand, to mature. And it's really asking ourselves, the next version is going to require a new dream. So while redreaming seems more innocent and redreaming is more informed, it's about wisdom, it's about going deeper, and it's about building from the ashes of experience. Now, specifically, we at Lighthouse Learning are redreaming our school. This is why this episode is very personal and powerful. I've been in a very long redreaming process. So just in rebuilding Lighthouse Learning, redreaming it, we grew from our dining room to a church to a big campus where we're almost getting ready to outgrow it. We used multi-age mastery-based systems. We've developed a curriculum model that blends stations and pacing and project-based learning, adaptive learning. We've launched entrepreneurship pathways. We've added leadership. We've added real-world learning, and we've really positioned Lighthouse Learning to where it is becoming a national model. I've also been redreaming the impact here on Teacher Let Your Light Shine. And none of us really just want a school. All of us want to be a part of a movement. And this has birthed. We moved actually from an LLC. We actually still have our LLC. We just birthed out at our school, the Lighthouse Learning Foundation, which is a nonprofit arm and is dedicated to scholarships, learning differences, community partnerships, resources for families, access to opportunity, none of which was a part of that dream of me standing in the kitchen and all the doors closing and looking at my kids playing football. That was a seed, and we have to honor the seed, because without the seed, we don't get the harvest. And through the nonprofit that we are building at Lighthouse Learning, we have a special program called the Bright Pathways Program. It's a very transformational support model for neurodivergent students, gifted and advanced learners, social emotional development, individualized learning plans, belonging, resilience, trades and technology exposure, therapeutic support plans. This is all because we are dreaming. The Bright Pathways, which we've created, it represents the heart of everything that I've ever dreamed a school could be and everything that parents thought wasn't possible. But we didn't just redream our school. We redreamed what school could be like for thousands of children. So we started out with 6 students. Now we're almost to 100. We went from worksheets to mastery-based learning. We went from simple lessons to entrepreneurship, trades, leadership, concerts, events, single classrooms to multi-age, personalized, flexible pathways, many different options that parents can choose from. We built something that didn't exist yet, which is what you are doing, because the old dream wasn't going to serve us any longer. We had to start redreaming how we would support diverse learners and diverse families with diverse needs. I truly believe that every program that we have redreamed into education has been a revolution. And Lighthouse Learning isn't just a school. It's a model. It's a movement for the future of education. And so is your dream. While we've gone through this process, a lot changed in our life. If you've been around here, you know that we moved from our house into a new house, which was something that I had been praying for over 12 years. We moved first, and then we found out that our school was having to move, and to find a place for 100 students is very tough. We didn't think that we were going to find a place, and as of July 1st, I said, if we do not find a place by this time, we're going to have to shut the doors and call all the families and tell them, which would have been heartbreaking. But as you know, God, at the end of June, found us a place just less than 2 miles from our house. Now, this really spurred up a ton of emotion, trust, faith, dependence, surrender. And through all of this experience over the past 6 years of building this school, I had first initially started Teacher Let Your Light Shine to service teachers who were leaving the school system to learn how to build a microschool, which I didn't even know was called a microschool when I first started the podcast. And now that the movement of microschools is just blowing the nation away, it's time for me to redream how I support you as parents and as teachers better. And I have been so privileged to be able to work one-on-one with hundreds of teachers who are starting their school, to have developed the Microschool Masterminds program, which is a monthly membership full of modules, self-paced learning materials, plus group coaching, products, the infamous business bundle, the courses that we've put out. There's just been a plethora of ways that I've been so blessed to be able to support you and learn with you and grow with you. We started out our Facebook group, Microschool community, with I think 30 people, and now it's almost close to 3,000 people. So as we have grown, my messaging for teachers is still the same, but the most important thing that I believe that I have to offer each and every one of you is the power of redreaming, which allows us to rebirth, regrow, rejuvenate. And I'm ready to rejuvenate what I use to offer my services and my gifts and talents to you. So while my one-on-one coaching program was very powerful, it really did cap out my impact, because if I'm spending 5 to 10 hours a week doing one-on-one coaching, I am not able to facilitate the time that I need to help more and more people who are demanding my services, my collaboration, my business success. Our programs have matured. You as an audience have grown. You've realized that you've had to stop teaching, and you are starting to be a leading founder. You are expanding your gifts as well as myself. You are scaling your systems, and so am I. You are redreaming education, your school, your business, and that's exactly what I am doing as well. For years, Teacher Let Your Light Shine has helped thousands of teachers reclaim their confidence, but I also realized something painfully true. Teachers don't just need encouragement. They need systems, they need clarity, they need community, they need strategy, they need coaching every week. They need self-paced learning. They need a movement. And so that's really required me to redream everything for you, just like redreaming our school was meant for our students. I want to make sure that you do not have scattered resources. They do not have more one-off shop products, no more weekly guessing on your own, no more having to wait weeks to have one-on-one coaching from me. I've completely redesigned Microschool Masterminds. We are now moving from coaching once a month in the evenings to coaching every single week through Zoom. Same time, same place, Thursdays, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to 1 o'clock. And if you're like, well, that doesn't work for me, I am very, very passionate about you freeing up your time so that you can be poured into. And if you miss an opportunity to have live group coaching, every week you can go into our mastermind program, ask your questions, and I will answer them in the live group coaching. You can ask me questions during the live group coaching. And if you miss it, I will have either 1, coached other people and you've heard it, 2, answered your questions, and it's almost as if you have your own private professional podcast every single week. Whether you are there in attendance or whether you miss it, you still have access to your own private coaching 1-hour session every single week, on top of being able to be in our Microschool Masterminds and receive all of the incredible resources that are at your fingertip. We have several modules for you to go and learn. You can now buy the business bundle only if you are a Microschool Mastermind, and you get it for $100. Right now, the business bundle is $197 if you become a Microschool Mastermind, and you pay for $107 for the month. You can now buy the business bundle for $100, which is exactly what it was before you became a Microschool Mastermind. Plus, you get group coaching, live question and answer every single week. That's a massive game changer. To receive coaching every single week, I'm dedicating myself every week to show up for you, to answer your questions, to share your pain, to give you strategies. You can also, on your own time, self-serve. Module 1. You can learn all about times, tools, and transitions. Module 2, knowing your numbers, getting financial clarity. Module 3, marketing your mastering, or master your marketing, clarifying your offer. Module 4, systems and schedules, SOPs, onboarding, hiring, daily, weekly activities, schedules, agendas. Module 5, funding, donations, grants, microschools, sustainable, enabling, golly goodness, so much quality education, resources, growth beyond tuition and fees. Module 6, we have our marketing strategies, where I give you strategies to promote your microschool through emails, lead generation, branding, digital presence, community engagement, targeted outreach. Module 7, building your dream team, recruiting, interviewing, onboarding, fostering a supportive culture. Module 8, leveraging for growth, duplicating and expanding your school. We help you create new products and services, hire for positions, free your time. Module 9 is our student learning and planning, where you can find curriculum clarity, student learning. Module 10, you have all the past Zoom recordings that we have. We also have our open house playbook that will be free for you. Plus, it has a free course for you. We have all of our repurposed shop content, totally free access whenever you become a Microschool Mastermind. And if you did not get a hold of our course, the Marketing Blueprint, if you are a Microschool Mastermind, you can now get it for $200. This is a one-stop shop for self-learning, self-paced learning, which is the whole theme of our Microschool, plus one-on-one. Well, can't say it's one-on-one, but it kind of is. Like, you are able to ask me one-on-one questions, and I give you feedback, and you learn from others who are either behind you or ahead of you, and they're going to get golden nuggets as well. I felt as if we need to redream this together. And when we redream our schools, when we redream our programs, when we redream our calling, when we redream our identity, we redream an entire country of education. So moving into ReDream Education, it's not just a rebrand, it's really a recalibration of purpose. Teacher Let Your Light Shine was powerful. It gave hope, it gave courage, it gave voice to teachers who were once forgotten. But hope is the beginning of the journey. It's not the destination. So my purpose with ReDream Education becomes where we recognize that we had a dream, it grew, you grew, the movement has grown, and we need to continue to grow. And the vision is expanding beyond our teaching and into a national innovation for where education is going. ReDream Education is about founders and leaders and dreamers and school builders and creators and innovators and parents and communities. It's not just a rebrand, it's a full evolution. And I want you to come alongside of us to grow deeper. Yes, we have a Facebook group. There's almost 3,000 people in it. So sometimes messages get lost. Sometimes people ask questions and people are just scrolling through on social media, and I wanted to create something different. So when you become a Microschool Mastermind, you actually get an app that you can log into, and that app has all of the courses, the digital downloads. We have 150 resources for you in Microschool Masterminds on marketing, finances, organization, hiring, so much more. And not only is it going to be self-paced learning for you, but you get the whole Microschool Mastermind Vault with all of our recorded presentations for the past almost 2 years. You get discounted courses, discounted business bundle, and you get weekly accountability and coaching. Redreaming is all about repurposing, realigning, and rejuvenating how we show up for ourselves and for others. So as we move into ReDream Education, next episode is our very last episode 400 of Teacher Let Your Light Shine. But I'm still going to be here in January every single week talking to you about the importance of education, where we are going as we are redreaming, what school looks like over the next several decades to come. You know, many of us started microschools not knowing if it was really going to last for a long time, but now we know that they are here to stay and we need to be prepared for it. I really believe that we will go into universities and we will teach people how to build microschools. That is how important the work that we are doing is. And so together, me, you, philanthropists, parents, we're all redreaming education, and we're doing it together, and we're doing it as a forefront. And so alongside each other, we're going to continue to grow, get deeper, get inspired, and find actionable steps and resources and people to keep the dream alive. To all my teacher friends, parents, and visionary leaders, if you are listening to this, I know you are passionate about creating a micro school or a program, a homeschool hybrid that truly shines. But let's be totally honest. Building and growing a micro school or your own program or homeschool hybrid, it isn't easy. It's not for the faint of heart. Whether you're just getting started or looking to scale, there's so much to navigate. Legalities, marketing, finances, student enrollment, location, curriculum planning. That's exactly why I created Microschool Masterminds, a community where you don't have to figure it out all alone. Inside, you'll get step-by-step guidance to launch, grow, and sustain your microschool or homeschool hybrid, access to our exclusive training modules, resources, and live coaching, and a supportive network of educators who get it because they're building their own dream schools as well. You have this dream of creating an incredible opportunity for students, for teachers, and yourself. Maybe you're in the early stages, wondering, where do I even start? Or maybe you've already taken the leap, but now you're feeling overwhelmed with marketing, enrollment, all of the planning or the finances. You're not alone, and you don't have to figure it out all by yourself. That's why Microschool Masterminds is here to help you on a month-by-month basis. That's right, it's a month-by-month membership designed to give you the support, structure, and strategy you need to actually make progress. Each month, you'll get live group coaching calls so you can ask questions, get feedback, and gain clarity on your next steps. Step-by-step training modules on legal setup, marketing, enrollment, financial planning, school operations, a private community of passionate educators who get what you're building and are right there with you, a roadmap to keep you moving forward whether you're launching or growing your school, and new resources delivered to your teacher mailbox inside our Microschool Masterminds community that are brand new every single month. And again, the best part is it's a month-to-month membership, so you can join when you're ready and staying as long as you need. Or if you're all in, grab the yearly membership and get 2 months free. This is your time. Your vision deserves a real plan, and I want to help you every step of the way. Go to teachersletyourlightshine.com/masterminds to join us today. That's teachersletyourlightshine.com/masterminds. We can't wait to see you. As I end episode 399, I want to leave you with this. What part of your life is asking you to redream? What vision have you been afraid of to revise simply because the old dream felt safe? Because your next chapter is waiting for you. And in episode 400, we will officially close the book on Teacher Let Your Light Shine and open the era of ReDream Education. I will reveal precisely how our programs, offers, and community are evolving. I'll be sharing my gratitude with you. We'll be sharing all the funny things that happened from the very beginning of starting our school in our home to where we are now. I'm going to be sharing with you how our weekly coaching is going to really give you a full transformation if you join Microschool Masterminds. We are ending one-on-one coaching and beginning this new era of really being able to support you more deeply, intentionally, and very, very well. But tonight, I want you to sit with this question. What do you need to redream?